Hey Henschel Nation, or should I say AP literature. Today we're going to be looking at kennings and stock epithets. We've gone over both of these terms in our notes before now, and additionally we talked about analysis of literary devices, but I really want to bring those two concepts together tightly. Because as we know, when we looked at the AP rubric yesterday, we saw that there was a huge correlation between getting a good score and making sure that you were very accurately describing and analyzing the elements of literature, or literary devices rather in this case. So let's take a look at that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read a few lines, I'm going to stop, I'm going to identify either kennings or stock epithets, and then I'm going to give you a little bit of an idea about analysis. So, he then went to visit and see, when night came, the high house, how it, the ring-danes, after the beer feast had occupied. He found therein the noble company slumbering after the feast. They did not know sorrow, misery of men, that damned creature, grim and greedy. So I'm going to stop right there. So I've read, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, not very many lines, okay? I'm only like this far in. And I've already got several kennings and a stock epithet or two. So first I want to identify ring-danes and beer feast. Both of those are kennings. So the descriptive phrases that replace a noun. And again, we've kind of talked about how this was a way that early English started forming linguistically. People put together words to make words that we find compounded now today, like whale-road. So ring-danes is really talking about like the high royal danes, the people with, the people who would have like rings and crowns and that sort of thing. And then the other thing that I saw was beer feast. And I feel like that is pretty self-explanatory. The kind of feast wherein you drink heavily. And we've talked about how that is sort of a Anglo-Saxon and Danish cultural norm. They did not know sorrow, misery of men. Misery of men is renaming sorrow, okay? So this is a special trait of sorrow. It's the misery of men. And that's how it's working. So now I want to go into analysis of these two things. So bear with me 1 second. So I want to start with ring-danes. I've added it right here. Ring-danes are the high-born danes. All right, those are the people who are probably either the king and his retinue or his warriors. And the allusion to ring there is that they're all going to wear like a torque. Some piece of metal, usually probably precious, that's going to identify that they have some sort of connection with the lord of the house or the king of the country. This is a common signal in that time that of whom and where they belong. So this is directly relating to the physical symbol of their fealty and really also their status. So I would just make that known. And this is really all you need to do right there for now. Next, I want to go to the epithet. So again, I've got some more from other things that we've gone through. But I want to bring in the ones from this. So the sorrow, So we have misery of men, which is renaming the idea of sorrow. And what that's bringing us in terms of illusion. Oops, where did it go? Went up there. I want to go down here. It's how awful sorrow really is to these warriors. And then obviously we know the source here is Beowulf. So we're going to make sure we fill that in. Alright? But the idea here is that they're giving more details to sort of shade in the tone and the mood of the thing with an epithet. Okay? And this is key to building up these ideas of good and evil, and building up the idea that there's something real that the hero of the story needs to deal with. All right, and that's the part that I need you guys to start drawing connections to. How do these things really build Beowulf as a hero? How do this idea of fealty and like honor and the sorrow and terribleness of Grendel's actions create the ideas of epic heroism that we're looking for? So I actually want you to take a minute and just jot down a few ideas informally about that, and then we'll go we'll go to actually like filling out the sheet and then formally sort of putting together those ideas in a way that could be useful for, like, say, an essay. So first, informally jotting down free writing about ways that epithets and kennings sort of help create that linguistic line of meaning about how Beowulf is a hero, and then more formally writing them using these other sources to sort of help define that idea, how language builds up into literary meaning. Blah. All right. So you should have the worksheet in front of you. If you have any questions, you'll be able to ask me in real life because I'm probably standing right next to this video, which is sort of weird, but we can handle it. So have a good day.